Before I sell this off, I just want to talk a bit about the Marvel Legends Toybiz Spider-Man figures. These two are from Hasbro when they just took over the Marvel Legends toy line, but essentially both are Toybiz body molds. That's why they are included over here in this group of figures. We'll take a look at each of them and do share your thoughts in the comments section. First up, the Spider-Man Classics Spider-Man. People say that the figures from this wave are the precursors of Marvel Legends. The web lines are sculpted and yeah, they have a few of these Spider-Man figures in different color scheme and different head sculpt. This one is quite decent and this one is in red and black instead of red and blue. So yeah, it was good for its time, but it definitely has passed its time. I think the only reason you might still have this figure is for nostalgic reasons. Yeah, other than that, this one is really outdated and also small compared to the recent figures. The first appearance Spider-Man is the only figure that Marvel Legends did. The rest of these are in the Spider-Man Classics toy line. So yeah, this is the figure itself. I think the diaper crotch is really terrible. Really rectangularish. The web lines are sculpted. Spider symbol looks good. They have this cloth cape which is not really attached in a nice way. I guess you can see all the rubber bands exposed. But yeah, I don't think there's any other way to attach them. Yeah, decent figure, but again, very dated. The new one that Hasbro did is definitely way better. One thing that irks me the most about the figure is the really tiny fingers. They wanted to do the individually articulated fingers, but it is kind of neither here nor there because yeah, the web shooting hands look funny this way and they can't really make a fist. Yeah, no fist, and the thumb is really kind of like stuck in that position. There's no articulation on the thumb. Here's the Spidey from the Sinister 6 box set. The head sculpt follows John Romita Jr.'s artwork, and yeah, this figure has the big, huge shoulder balls. But aside from that, it's actually kind of quite a decent figure. It has the cloth cape again, like the first appearance Spidey. And this figure usually suffers from loose joints as well. Look at that, a bit loose on the thigh joint. Yeah, but one thing good about this figure, there is the neck articulation. You can see the neck moving forward. Here's the Snapshot Spidey from Spider-Man Classics. And yeah, this is one of the sought after Spideys back then. I don't know whether it is still sought after right now. The sculpt on it is excellent. The head sculpt is also, whose artwork is this? It is specific to someone, I'm not really sure who. Please share in the comments. I think some people might mistaken the Snapshot Spidey and the Sinister 6 Spidey as the same body mold, but they are actually different. I think the only same exact thing are the arms, the big shoulder balls. Yep, that's I think exactly the same. Other than that, the torso is completely different. The legs are also different, especially this thigh area. This one is a bit longer than the Sinister 6 Spidey. That's why this Snapshot Spidey is actually slightly taller than the Sinister 6 Spidey. A bit clearer from the side view. Snapshot is slightly taller. And like I said, the torso is different. The Snapshot Spidey has the diaphragm joint on top of the ab crunch and the waist swivel. But for the Sinister 6 Spidey, it doesn't have the diaphragm joint. Only the ab crunch and the waist swivel. And yeah, articulated fingers as well. This time the fingers are not straight, it is curved. And it still looks kind of awkward in a web shooting pose, I would say. But I guess not that bad. And also can't really form a fist. I mean, this is the best it can do. I think both these figures are still great in their own ways. Just that in terms of the sculpt and the appearance, it doesn't really fit in together with the recent Marvel Legends figures. Here is Superposeable Spidey. Between Snapshot and this one, which one is more sought after and which one carries a higher value? I'm not really sure. I think the Superposeable Spidey ages out the Snapshot slightly. This one would usually cost more back then. People call this the McFarlane Spidey as well. I don't know why, because this figure, I think most of us would agree, follows more closely to Mark Bagley's artwork. I definitely prefer the lean appearance of this figure compared to the overly muscular Snapshot Spidey figure. Here is the Fearsome Force Spidey. The figure reuses the Superposeable Spidey body, but with a different head sculpt and a slightly different shade of blue. Between these two, I definitely prefer this head sculpt over the Fearsome Foe's head sculpt. And yeah, this is supposed to have the cloth web at the back as well. I don't have that cloth web. Here's another well-articulated Spider-Man figure. This one is from the Urban Legends box set. And this figure is kind of like the middle ground between these two figures because it has the lean look of the Superposeable Spidey, but it has the shoulder ball like the Snapshot Spidey. This figure only has painted web lines, no sculpted web lines. And the hands are kind of like prefixed to web shooting hands. The two middle fingers here are able to move back and forth. Now, this is a more natural looking web shooting hands, but when the fingers are straight, yeah, this is how it looks like. Can't make a fist. I think this figure is also reused a couple of times in the Spider-Man Classics series. Here's another well-articulated Spidey figure. This time around, really slim build. In terms of body shape, kind of really close to Superposeable Spidey, but the figure does have longer legs. You can see the thigh is higher than the Superposeable Spidey. It doesn't have the ball hip joints, and the head can only swivel. There isn't any hinge joint. At the back, there are two holes on the Spidey symbol to attach the gimmick that comes with the figure. The hands are open fingered like this in order to slap the villains. And the other one is, yeah, in this position. This figure is also reused a few times, with some differences in the paintwork. This is actually the SDCC exclusive Stanley Spidey, and if it looks familiar, it is because it is exactly the same as this figure. Just a different set of paintwork. This one is red-black and here's red-blue. At the back, they didn't even cover up the hole. This figure also has that hole. And yeah, this one also have those straight tiny fingers. I really do find the hands looking kind of small compared to the body. Same exact diaper crotch as well. Hasbro also reused the Superposeable Spidey and repainted it to red and black. These two figures are exactly the same, just a different set of paintwork. So yeah, between all these classic costume Toybiz Spider-Man figures that I've shared, which are the ones that still holds up till now? Or which one is the best in terms of appearance and articulation? Do share in the comments. Thanks for watching. I've actually sold 4 of these figures. I'm doing this video before I hand over the figures to the buyer. I'm actually in the journey of quitting collecting action figures. Do share in the comments if you have gone down this road before.